games and the Philadelphia 76ers in these 4 games by 185 points, and a margin of 26.4 points per game during this 7-game winning streak. The Knicks are shooting 55% from the field, 43% from three-point range during that streak, and that's important to bring up, ladies and gentlemen, because when you look at the New York Knicks, who were 28th last year under Tom Thibodeau, shooting the three, but are 12th this year shooting the three. If you're going to win the championship, you got to be able to make perimeter shots. You got to be able to shoot. And when I think about the New York Knicks potentially going up against, potentially going up against Detroit, they got to beat Cleveland, potentially, or San Antonio, or OKC. Every one of those squads got size. Every one of those squads are not going to let you get anything easy in the interior. If you're the New York Knicks, in order to win these series, to be a member of the Final Four, and to be a conference champion, and then ultimately to be an NBA champion, in order for the New York Knicks to pull this off, they're going to have to shoot the ball as effectively as we've been seeing them do throughout these playoffs, particularly these last 7 games. And so that's what the situation is with the New York Knicks right now. Major props to Jalen Brunson, averaged 29 points on 51% shooting from the field, 45% from three-point range, 92% from the free throw line in this 4-game series sweep against the Philadelphia 76ers. Major props to him. Major props to a Knicks defense that held the Sixers to 8 for 35 shooting from three. That was 23% during the game yesterday. Got to remember, New York outscored Philly by 51 points on three-pointers in Game 4. McBride comes off the bench, hits 4 of his three-pointers in the first quarter, finishes with 29 points, flat-out balling. Very, very proud of him. Very, very proud of him. He hit 7 of 9 for the game from 3. Josh Hart hit 4 of 6 from 3. Landry Shamet, who is another person that deserves to be applauded, he hit 4 of 6 from 3. Karl Anthony Towns hit 2 of his three-point shots. And Jalen Brunson hit 6 of 10 from three-point range. Everybody for the Knicks, all of those guys, all 5 of those guys, shot 60% or better from three-point range. In other words, Philly didn't stand a chance. Philly didn't stand a chance. And so here we are with the New York Knicks. We're back into the NBA Finals, and there's a couple of storylines to focus on. Number one, got to give Mikal Bridges some love. Because that slump that he was in, that awful way that he was playing as the season drew to an end, as the playoffs started, the first 2 games or so, I had that energy on a negative way. I got to have that energy on a positive way. Mikal Bridges has shown up. And he's been making his shot, open threes, open perimeter shots, pull up, fall away shots, 15 feet away. He's been defending. He's been giving you his minutes. I'm very pleased with Mikal Bridges right now. Karl Anthony Towns, can't say enough about him. Point center, running the show, being a facilitator, but still being able to hit shots from the outside. Can't say enough about Karl Anthony Towns. Can't say enough about him. He's been balling. Deserves all our credit in the world. So we got to give credit where credit is due in that regard. Then you got a situation where we're looking at Jalen Brunson. Big Perk, Kendrick Perkins said it on First Take this morning. I'm going to reiterate it right here, right now. If the New York Knicks win the conference tournament and they end up advancing to the finals, and they win the finals with Jalen Brunson doing what he does, Jalen Brunson will go down as the greatest New York Knickerbocker in history. Better than Walt Clyde Frazier. Better than Bernard King. Better than Patrick Ewing. All of it. He'll go down as the greatest Knick of all time if he delivers a championship to this city. No doubt about it. So we just got to give love and respect the way it's due when it comes to him playing the way that he has been playing, but they still got a job to finish. Game 4, like you said. I mean, I'm just looking at it, and you just can't say enough. It is what it is. And the New York Knicks got to continue to play. They got to continue to move the basketball. They got to continue to hit perimeter shots, and they got to continue to defend on an elite level. Only the Spurs have had a better defense than the Knicks in these playoffs. They got to continue to do that. They got to. And they'll be fine. as it pertains to the Philadelphia 76ers, who the Knicks swept, beat convincingly in midst of the sweep. I take no joy in saying this, but it's time to move on from Daryl Morey.
Of in life. Scary movies, healthy foods, and the Detroit Pistons. All right? But you know who's not scared of the Detroit Pistons? It's a guy by the name of Big Body Brunson. He don't give a damn about them. And that's the reason that I have confidence in the New York Knicks, because I got confidence in Jalen Brunson and what he has displayed to us over the last 2 seasons, especially in the postseason, especially when you talk about being clutch, winning clutch player of the year last season. You know, I had the honor of going do the podcast roommates with Jalen Brunson down All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
And I told him something, and I meant it. And I said, do you realize Jalen Brunson is already a top 3 greatest Knicks player, top 3 greatest Knicks players of all time?
Absolutely.
But guess what? I told him in his face, he's only a championship away from being the greatest Knick of all time.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he said, I feel you. And I saw it in his face, and I said, you need to capitalize on this moment. And so when I think about Brunson and I think about what he's capable of doing to anybody, right now he's been arguably still consistently over the last 2 years the best player in the Eastern Conference. Jaylen Brown and Cade Cunningham, they're putting up a fight. But the New York Knicks have the deepest roster in the Eastern Conference. They check all the boxes. I have confidence in them, but the Detroit Pistons do scare me. But because of Big Body Brunson and his clutch play, I got to say I still have confidence that the Knicks could get to the promised land.
You going to say it?
Well, the New York Knicks shot 57% from three-point range yesterday. 57%, you understand? New York Knicks shoot the basketball like that, they're going to win a championship. They're going to win a championship. Let me be very clear. It don't have to be 57%, but if you're shooting effectively from the 3, if you're getting contributions with your depth, if a McBride is going to come off the bench, don't have to give you 29. If the brother give you 18 to 20, if he going to do that, New York Knicks going to win the championship. I love what I'm seeing right now from this team. I love the point center that Karl Anthony Towns has become. I love the adjustments that clearly Mike Brown has made because they look different than they did in the regular season. I love the fact that Jalen Brunson goes out there and averages 29 on 51% shooting, 45% from 3. Mikal Bridges, let me keep that same energy. Because I was all up in his ass, as Big Perk would say, like back pockets. You understand? We know where I stood with this. Listen, damn it. You understand? It wasn't his fault that they gave up the assets for him, but damn it, they gave up the assets for him. 4 unprotected first-round picks, 2 first-round swaps. You got to show up. You got to show up and produce, and him averaging 7 points, looking anemic out there. It was horrible. And damn it, that's what I said, to the point where somebody I love, Josh Hart, had to get on me about it. But I didn't give a damn because I have been suffering like New York Knicks fans for decades. But Mikal Bridges in this series, very pleased with him. Very pleased. Same energy is here. That's what we need to see. That's what we need to see right there. What we've been seeing from this brother. No hesitancy in the stroke. Defending, out there contributing to an annihilation, outscoring the Sixers by an average of 22 points per game in this series, winning 7 straight, annihilating the competition. That's what we expect to see from Mikal Bridges. So overall, you look at the New York Knicks right now, the way that they have been shooting the basketball, the Sixers and the Atlanta Hawks, they ain't the Detroit Pistons, they ain't Oklahoma City, they damn sure ain't San Antonio. It would be different against those teams. Let me not rule out Minnesota. It would be different going against those teams defensively. But nevertheless, in the end, give credit where credit is due. My New York Knicks showed up, back-to-back appearances in the conference finals. My man Charlie Mack has been muzzled. He is not allowed to speak for the entire offseason in representing the city of brotherly love. He needs to go in hibernation, hide out. We don't want to hear from him anymore. In the end, The Philadelphia 76ers, my condolences. We'll talk about them later. New York Knicks going to the finals. I think they can win the championship. Yes, I do.
KP, before you go, I just want to make sure I'm hearing correctly as my man goes on an incredible soliloquy about all the reasons why the Knicks are playing at a great place. Are you taking the Knicks to win the title? It's not an if question.
I'm taking the Knicks to win the title.
I just want to hear you verbally say it. I just want to hear you say it.
I'm taking the Knicks to win the title.
Okay.
We winning the chip.
Okay.
We winning the chip.
All right.
We winning the chip.
That's what I wanted, KP. Go ahead.
Perk, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Jay, because it seemed like you got something to get off your chest. I
No,
want to hear
no,
what
no,
you
no,
got
no,
to say.
no,
It's
no,
been a
no.
minute, my brother.
No,
I haven't
no,
seen. I haven't seen you in a minute. It's good to see you, by the way.
It's good to
Stephen
see-
A. Shay, what's up? I didn't get a chance to speak. S.A., this is by far the best suit that you've worn over the last 2 months. I mean, the suit game is on point. The suit game is on point. I have officially become the fashion police, and I must say, the color, it matches your skin tone. I mean, hey, listen, I'm Kendrick Perkins, and I approve this message.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, boy. Can we go back to the Knicks, please? Can somebody...
It's so stupid.
What kind of show am I supposed to be running here? Can you go?
I know. It's approve this message that got me.
Do you think the Knicks can win a title?
I think that this is the best they've looked to win a title.
So no.
But I don't think they could, even at a high clip, beat Oklahoma City. I still think Oklahoma City throws so many defensive tacticians at you. And I literally said this the other day. I feel like when you play against OKC, Perk and Stephen A., every possession feels like you're in a negotiation with the refs because they manipulate angles, because they manipulate officiating, because of their ability to foul bait, get you into trouble. The amount of people they continue to throw at you between Caruso and Dort and CJ, all these players over and over and over, I still would favor them to win a championship. But I will say, this is the best style of basketball I've seen the Knicks play in my time watching the Knicks for a long time. And just to simplify even more, Tibbs took this team to a certain point. The way their offense has unlocked with Karl Anthony Towns, I think he has like 66 assists to 28 turnovers, has been eye-opening. The job Mike Brown has done with this team, getting Jalen Brunson to play off the ball, their style now reminds me a little bit more of the way Golden State played with Draymond Green and Steph, right? Because now you invert their offense. You can use them in pick and roll. You can use them in pick and pop with Karl Anthony Towns. He had 10 assists last night. So I think this style looks incredible against a team with Joel Embiid on the floor because they can't contend. But it's about to get real against Detroit. I think that's why Jalen Brunson's demeanor was like that. I don't think he was excited about beating Philly. Philly was beat up. Joel Embiid was beat up. They expected to beat Philly that way. Now the real battle's about to begin. And Jalen Brunson's whole demeanor to me, KP, was like, oh, no. We're really about to get into it now. This is when the real work begins. Because if you're New York, I want Detroit. I would want them. KP, I don't know about
The
you.
team that beat up on you
Detroit
all
wants New
season
York.
long. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, Kendrick, what do you think?
Well, let me say this. Number one, they're coming out of the Eastern Conference. They have the most depth, and they're clicking on all cylinders on both ends of the floor. Are they going to win the championship? I'm not about to sit up here and say they not. And, yeah, they can. They could beat any team in the Western Conference. And I know Oklahoma City Thunder, the way that they're looking, and when you talk about being one of the best defensive teams in the league, you know what you have to do in order to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder? You have to be able to make shots consistently, efficiently, at a high rate, especially from the three-point line, because the Oklahoma City Thunder take away driving gaps. They're active with their hands. The New York Knicks can make shots. The New York Knicks are defending at a high level. It's a lot of, they made the biggest statement over this past weekend. The way that they went in there and handled Philly in those two games in great fashion, the way that Karl Anthony Towns has been unlocked by Mike Brown, it's a few things that I'm looking at. Number one, if I'm the Knicks, I'm not even entertaining this whole Giannis conversation anymore. Not from what I've been seeing out of Karl Anthony Towns on both ends of the floor. I don't even want to hear it. Number two, do you realize what's at stake right now for Jalen Brunson, I'm going to tell you what's at stake for Jalen Brunson. What's at stake for Jalen Brunson right now? If he goes out and lead this team and wins the championship, he will be the greatest Knick of all time. Yes, I said it, the greatest Knick of all time. He will join elite company. And that company is Steph Curry, Isaiah Thomas, two small guards that completed the mission. Because the whole narrative has been that a small guard, meaning a guard 6'3" and under, cannot lead a team to a championship. There's only been two that done it, Steph and Isaiah Thomas, the old Isaiah Thomas from the Pistons. If he goes out and lead this team to win a championship, I don't want to hear about Frazier. I don't want to hear none of those names. Jalen Brunson, a.k.a. Big Body Brunson, will be the greatest Knick ever.
I feel you on that. I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just saying that, knowing your history a little bit, did you ever hear somebody named Nate Tiny Archibald? I mean, I'm just asking. He played for the Boston Celtics. You understand what I'm saying? And he didn't lead the team. He was on the team 81, but I'm just saying, this is Nate Tiny Archibald, one of the greatest small guards. Every time we mention the small guards, Isaiah.
I said lead.
You said Steph and okay, so we just going to ignore what he meant to small. The miniature point guard that he was, as great as he was as a player, we going to say Isaiah Thomas and Steph Curry and leave Nate Tiny Archibald out. You're showing your age. You're showing your age. You're showing your youth.
I wasn't even
You're showing
thought
your
of.
You're showing your youth.
I wasn't even
okay,
thought of.
That's all.
And you showing your age. You showing your age.
Damn right I am. Damn right I am. At least damn right I do. And you need to as well. You wore a Boston Celtics uniform and won a title. You're the last person that should make that kind of mistake. But let's get back to what we're saying here. I do not disagree with you about Jalen Brunson. As great as Walt Clyde Frazier was, is, and will always be. And Earl of Pearl Morrell, let's not forget him either. Jalen Brunson, if he leads the New York Knicks to the title, he will be the greatest Knickerbocker in franchise history. I have no problem with that statement at all because it's going to be phenomenal. In order for him to do it, he's going to have to get through Detroit, obviously, or Cleveland. And then after that, he's going to have to get through Minnesota, San Antonio, or Oklahoma City. Because we all know the broomsticks are out in L.A. tonight. I mean, you can see them all over the place. People, they got their broomsticks, okay? It's coming, all right? It is what it is, all right? So the point is that if he pulls this off, and by the way, this is why they could do it, Jay and Big Perk. Last year, the New York Knicks was 28th in three-point shooting. 28th. They're 12th. They were 12th this year. And in these playoffs, they're making shots. See, it's so important because of the size that exists in L.A. Whether it's Hartenstein and Holmgren, whether it's Wemby, whether it's Rudy Gobert with Naz Reid and McDaniel and these boys, there's so much size in the West. You ain't getting much in the interior. Karl Anthony Towns doesn't have, the brother can play, but he doesn't have those kind of hops. We know that. You going up against these guys in a low post, you're going to have to hurt them from the perimeter in order to beat them. And the New York Knicks are showing they are fully capable of doing that.